everyone. This is the VN Talks here. I'm Tala.
I'm Kata.
And I'm Marga.
Today is a very special episode. It's episode 10. We've been doing this 10 times. It's crazy
10 weeks.
to think 10 weeks. Oh, the hell. It's crazy to think how far we've come and how spontaneous this whole idea was, really. We were just like talking about it, making a joke out of it. We're like, wait, actually? And we just planned a Zoom meeting. If you want to know the story behind the VN Talks, you can always go to the website. It's in the link of our Instagram. But we kind of, this episode, we're not going to really talk about, some topics that we have planned. We're kind of just going to highlight, where we are now, what have we been up to, and everything else, just to catch up and say important things we've been going through, and to like just think that we've been doing this for 10 weeks. It's crazy.
That's crazy.
And I'm actually really proud of us because we kept on going. I literally thought we were gonna give up 2 weeks. No, this is actually really fun, and like all my friends and my family, they're like really shocked. Like, you have a podcast? Anyone I tell this to, they're always like really shocked. They're like, what, you have a podcast? The hell? Yeah. But like, it's so interesting, and it's something way out of my comfort zone that I would usually never do. But I love that we're doing something just out of our comfort zone, something new, something creative, and just talking, because we just love to talk, don't we?
Yeah.
Actually, I have the same. No, I was just gonna say I have like the same situation with my family. Every time I'm like, no, I have things to do, and they're like, what? And I'm like, I have to record a podcast, and they're like, oh wow, true, that.
Me too. My mom's like, literally, my mom 2 weeks ago,
This content
like, you're still doing the
creator.
podcast? Literally, I was like, oh no, I can't go to this place, Mom. I have to like film my podcast. She's like, you're still doing the podcast? What? I thought you gave up. I'm like,
so she isn't listening.
Yeah. No, my mom just has other stuff. She's doing her PhD. She's working. She's a workaholic. So I don't think she really pays attention to my podcast. But
I don't think mine does either.
Okay. For me, my family, like, they don't listen to it because like my parents, they don't speak English. My sister does, but she's just like, fuck you, I don't care about what you say. So
God, my sister too.
That's my sister.
My sister too.
But I know that like they saw a couple of episodes, and I know like the only thing that they tell me about the podcast is like, Tyler is my favorite member of the podcast. She's the best one. And I'm like, thank you. I love the support.
Oh wait, actually?
Oh, actually.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, thank you. That's the only thing that, and whenever I say I have the podcast, they're like, I don't know, they take it as if like seriously. I'm like that's a serious thing. I'm like, shut up. Everyone has to shut up in this house because I have to record the podcast. And they're like,
oh, we realized once your dad came in the episode and was showing your child a picture. That was the funniest.
That was funny.
That was the top 10 funniest moments of the VN Talks.
That's top 1.
Literally top 1.
So good.
It was so good. And you're like, Papa. What do you call Papa?
Papo.
I spoke Arabic.
I call him Papo.
Papo, right? In Spanish, you guys called padre, right? But I don't think that's too formal.
Yeah, well, I say papa in Spanish.
Yeah,
papa.
Okay.
So like here we say papa or pa, just like
Papa.
for like pa.
You're like pa. Stop it. It was so funny, and he just came behind you and was just like living in his own world, and we're just like viewing it.
He was like, "This is my house. I don't care."
It's like the thing is that it was just a studio. So like my dad, he has like a music studio, and I was recording there that day. That's why I never came back. But I was recording there that day. So like he needed to work. He needed to do some things on the piano. So he just like came popping by because like I need to work. I was like, well, I don't give a fuck. I'm recording. He was like, well, I don't give a fuck. I'm recording. I was like, okay.
The battlefield in Colombia. It's Kata's house.
Literally, it really is.
It really is. What have you guys been up to? That's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like for me, once I came back from Spain, I feel like for me, every year I kind of go through something and something happens to me and I change. I always improve, change, grow for the better. And I feel like throughout this whole summer, I've learned a lot of things. A lot of things happened to me, and a lot of my personality changed. Well, not really, but like I just You know what I mean. If you
Yeah.
okay. Okay, I don't want to like go
Podcast
deep,
after hours.
spill my
We know-
secrets. But like I feel like it's crazy. I'm going to Spain like on the 28th. I'm gonna go back for the semester and whatever. And it's just weird because I'm not really the same exact person I was. I'm not gonna do the same things I did when I was there actually. And I feel like I want to ask you guys, have you went through things this summer that kind of changed or like you grew out of and you're just looking forward for the future? What, like, I don't know, tell me about your experiences since we're catching up.
Yeah. Should I go first? Okay. In my case, absolutely. I feel like it's been a really weird and different summer for me,
Yeah.
but and it's not been because of COVID or anything like that. It's just that I had to prioritize my mental health this summer. So that's what I did.
Should.
Yeah.
That's what I did, and I spent a more of kind of calm summer in Segovia than I've done other years. Even though now with COVID I could travel more. I've traveled with my family, for example, but they have traveled more without me because I kind of needed time to myself, and I decided to work in the summer instead because I really needed to be busy and get my head into something now that I didn't have school, so I wouldn't just overthink and get in the loop of other things that my mental health could get into, and could lead me to not having a great summer, because summer is really not my favorite season. I mean, if I could like live it as other people do, maybe as much as they travel, as much as they spend their time having fun, I would love to be able to do that, but it's in right now I'm not like in that place. I'm not like ready for that because of my mental health, and I feel like it's okay. And if I needed this summer to, kind of maybe think that I will be able to take that step in the next summer, but just this summer prioritize myself and do what needs to be done, even
Exactly.
though it's not like for me to feel good about myself, then that's okay. It's not that I've had the typical summer, the common summer, but what about it? Like it's okay if other teenagers, other people my age have done lots of things this summer. I've done some too. It's not like I've been only working and that's it. But I've been doing things that I wanted to do. I've been doing things that have helped me. And this summer, just as you said, Della has come to me with a lot of realization when it comes to relationships, when it comes to,
Relationships for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
to knowing who's there, who's not. And in that sense, that has all kind of happened and piled up during the summer. But it's like things that I'm getting together and things that I'm doing to improve my mental health. Everything that I've done this summer, although it has not been the typical summer of going to the coast and traveling, and it's not been that summer, but it's been a summer that I also needed. I needed a break. I needed to get my head into something different that kept me busy. I did what I had to do so I could feel better about myself, and I don't regret it, even though I don't have photos in Paris or in the North Pole or anywhere else. It's true, I've spent my most of my summer here, traveled a bit, that's it, but it's come with a lot of things that have just improved my mental health and with a lot of realization in so many senses. It comes to myself, my self-worth, my relationships. So I don't regret it at all. It's not that I have like summer stories to tell when it comes to saying, oh, I went to this place, I did this thing. But I've got summer stories to tell when it comes to, my mental health is doing much better. I did things that I had to do because it's what I needed. And in that sense, I don't regret it. I don't care that I don't have stories to, post and tell when it comes to summer 2021. I still don't regret it. And I feel like it's been a summer of growth in that sense of personal growth. So yeah, I do feel that way. It's been quite a dip summer, even though I have not been doing many things. And yeah, that's it. Now I'll shut up and let Kata talk.
It's fine, don't worry. So for me, it's been like a really weird summer. I usually like know what I'm gonna do in summer, like with a lot of time ahead. And this year I literally booked plane tickets like 2 days before I travel. And like for me it was something that I never do. And it was really weird. So I did like travel a little bit. I did spend the whole month in Paris.
Yeah.
But I think like it's been a really weird summer for me. I think like every month of summer has been a total different from the one before that. So let's say like in June, well, yes, I was in Paris living my best life. It was so much fun. But then I had July with literally, when I tell you, didn't leave my house, it's like an understatement. Like literally just stayed here, and like I left to like bike around or go to the gym or just like talk to my parents. But like literally, like I knew I had to see people. I knew like I had to go see my family, but I was like, I don't want to. Like I'm happy at home, not doing anything. Just like July really increased my really bad obsession with BTS because now I was living with my sister who's also obsessed with BTS. So that didn't help because we had been apart from each other. So we just potentialized and like it like literally like it just like grew exponentially. We were together. My parents were about to kill us. Anyway, and then like this August, I've been just running around. I think this August, like I think that's like most people's summer is like here in Bogota is like I think I've said this a lot. Like Bogota is like really has like a really high altitude, so it's always really cold. So like to do things like it's really variant on the weather. Like literally, like it's raining like every single day and stuff, and it's really cold as well. But I think that the main thing about it is it just like is just hanging out and just like being with people. And I think one of the best memories of the summer was that one of my best friends, she was going through like a really hard time, and she called me and I was able to go to her house. And like it was like so insignificant, but like things that I live really far away from her. So like just to be there, and then like me knowing that like probably that's the last time I'm gonna be there, like physically there for her, because now I'm going back to Spain for like probably like I'm probably not coming back until like next summer. So it was really special for me. And I think for me as a person, like I before I left, I was really like anxious about a lot of my friendships that I left here, a lot of my relationships. And I think the reason why I liked so much July was because I didn't give a shit about anyone, about myself. The people told me, I was like, oh, I can't hang out today. I was like, I really like it was not like I think if it was me from December, I would be like, oh my God, like they're trying to avoid me, they're hanging out with someone else. Like probably they were like, but like this July I just didn't care. Like I was like, okay, don't worry, like figure out your stuff. Like it's like if you can give me some time so we can catch up, it's fine. If you can't, it's also fine. Like literally, like it's with me both of our losses, it's like literally it doesn't matter. So yeah, like I think I'm coming back as more calmed and more like not self-secure, but like just like knowing my place in the world, I would say. And it, like I was telling you before we started this like the episode, but like yesterday I went to my school, which is like the place where I spent 14 years of my life. So it was like my second home. So I just had to go there. I think it really helped me realize where I am in life. A lot of my teachers that like known me since I was like 4 years old, they saw me and they're like, Kata, I'm just like, you just look so happy. And I'm just happy for you because you look genuinely so happy with what you're doing with your life and where you're going in life. And that meant a lot to me. And my headmaster told me I had a good English. So I'm done with life. I'm good. I'm perfect. Thank you. That's it. Go Tara.
No, but like I can completely relate to you. Like you just like made me go back. I'm just joking, but like you made me kind of like notice like I've been kind of going through the same stuff. I feel like when I was in Spain, and it's kind of hard to say this because you overthink what might people think of you. Like, ooh, like what the hell? Like what is she saying? But obviously, I'm gonna open up and you have to open up these things and just share your life, because what if someone else is going through it and just they're no like they'll know they're not really alone, and like everyone can experience this. I feel like, and I told you guys this from before, like when I was in Spain, I wasn't truly myself. Like I feel like a lot of you guys thought I was, but I was holding a lot of parts of myself back because it always goes to like, my anxiousness, if that's a word, or like or my overthinking that keeps on telling me that people are judging me, or people don't like me, or people think I'm weird, or people think I'm blah 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 blah. And that really held me back a bit. And like when I would meet new people, I would come like after I would meet people, I would go back home and I'd be like, no, just give me another chance. Like this is not me. Like I swear I'm not like this. Like please just give me another chance. Like there's this trend on TikTok that says like, give me one more chance, give me one more chance. And it was just like that. I felt like I wasn't myself. I didn't feel like I belonged in Spain. And even so, I didn't feel like I belonged here in my home country. I felt like, where is my place in this world? Like you just said, Kata. It's like I don't know where I'm going. I don't know where I truly fit in. You know, I've always kind of experienced with like fitting in issues my whole life. Okay. And so when I came here, I got in a lot of issues with not I got, but like a lot of issues came surrounded with some of the relationships I had in my life at the beginning of the summer. And I'm glad I went through it because it made me realize these people aren't really fitting to be in my life. And I found other great people that are my friends now who recognize my worth, recognize my personality, make me feel like make me feel great and give me so much positive energy. And I really, really appreciate that because I haven't really experienced that my whole life. I felt like every friend group or people that I surrounded myself with, they will always kind of say something or just do anything that would make me feel less of myself and like make me feel less valuable and not really important to them. So I feel like for now, even if I feel like I have, I have unresolved issues with some people that were in my life, or that I'm on bad blood with these people, or that the world is against me, or like a lot of people hate me, which is, I don't think is the case. I always go back to like, I have myself, I have good friends that give me positive vibes, give me positive energy. And even if these friends go away in my life, I always go back to the term like, I have myself, I know myself, I know my intentions, I know my worth, and I know that I'm valuable in this world. And it's okay to go through these things to like really learn and just strengthen your personality in a way. And I feel like when I go back to Spain, I'm not gonna, build myself up. I'm not gonna guard myself up, and I'm not gonna just not show my full personality, because who cares at the end of the day? Like you said, Kata, like I don't care if you don't like me, you don't like me. Like you don't have to stay in my life, but I'm not gonna hold myself back because of what you might think of me. It's just, mentally and physically draining, really. So yeah, that was my rant for today's episode. But
That
yeah,
is so important. That is so
yeah.
important.
So like, it's okay if you're going through the same thing. It's really emotional for me because you just like I'm the type of person that holds on to these friendships, hold on to these relationships, and when they go away, I feel, you feel worthless in a way because you thought these friendships were important. But it's okay to go through these relationships and break it off with them, because you'll learn from it at the end of the day. You'll take it to strengthen your personality, really. And yeah, I feel like we all three went through, I'm sure we went through similar things. Like in general, it doesn't have to be about friendships or relationships, but anything that kind of strengthened Kata, that kind of like strengthened our personalities. And I feel like we're gonna come back stronger than ever. Like we're still the same people. We still have the same personality, same hearts, same everything. But we all kind of went through these things this summer to kind of like strengthen our personality and just be ourselves at the end of the day. And I feel like we're gonna totally rock that this semester. I'm so excited to be back, honestly. I don't know if you like, I'm so excited. Like,
Oh, I'm dying. I think like
me
I was
too. It's
talking
been
with
enough here. The freedom. Oh, the freedom. I want it back. But I hope there's no
I'm
curfew. So
dying to go back. Like literally, like once again, yesterday, everyone was like, "Oh my god, and where are you living? What are you doing?" It's like I was just talking about Segovia the whole day. I was like, "I'm in Segovia," and like I was talking to Kadim a few days ago, and we were both just like hyping up each other. It was like it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be crazy. We're like, and I have a mentee this year. Well, I have 3 mentees, but I was talking to one of my mentees. She was like, "I'm dying to go. I'm so excited." We were just like bumping like throwing the balls to each other. We were both like super excited. So I'm dying to go back. I think I'm really excited to be like first semester. Probably not gonna be as hyped as second semester was for us, or I don't know.
no,
Maybe
honestly, I'm
because we
not gonna
know each
hype it
other
up.
already. Maybe because we already know each other is gonna be probably fun. I don't know. I'm really excited. I'm also excited to see like a lot of people, like I barely talk to like humans. Like literally, I think I would barely talk to you guys if it wasn't for the podcast. I would just be by myself, like
Honestly,
looking,
yeah, I feel like this
wondering
podcast.
how everyone is doing, just expecting everyone to be okay.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
talking to Marga, being like, look this BTS meme I found.
Literally, I feel like
That's
this
literally our
podcast.
conversations.
I feel like this
How
podcast
dare they?
definitely brought us like closer. Do you guys feel
Oh,
that
yeah.
way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
that's so cute though.
Because we also
like,
opened up a lot about things that we had not talked about. When, like, in any other context, we didn't feel that we had, like, maybe the context, or kind of like there was nothing that would make me feel like, oh, I'm in this comfortable and safe space in which I'm just gonna live this out. And suddenly, by having those topics that we had to focus on, and suddenly we wanted like to share our experiences, suddenly we had like a platform, we had like a way to tell people that we love and that we feel comfortable with,
and tell
things
our
that we've experienced.
experiences. Yeah,
Exactly. It was like
Yeah.
things that I could have told you girls at any other point because I trust you, but is that I never found the moment, you know? And now with like these topics that we had to focus on these things that we were talking about, it was like, God, now it's like, it's the moment. It feels like now I can say it, and I know I'm comfortable enough to say it because I'm with Tala and I'm with Kata, and I know I can say it and I feel great about it.
Even if there's
But
people
it's just
watching.
that I had never had, it's just that I had never had the moment to do it.
Yeah,
and now
I
it
think
was like,
uh-huh.
I could open up now. Yeah, Kata, go ahead.
Exactly.
No,
Yeah.
I was to say that the most important thing, like I think since we started and like other people came up to us and was like, oh, so you're doing a podcast? We're like, yes. And the thing they were like, well, why? And we were like, I think we all know who I'm
Why
talking
not?
about.
Like,
And
let's
they
do
were like, why
something.
not? And like I think the most important thing that we're doing this is just like for us, literally, just like
Yeah, we're not doing it
Literally.
for anyone. We don't care about
like
the
literally,
views.
you see
We
your
don't
views.
care.
We don't
We
care
don't
about
give a
that. My
cent.
sister.
We don't
my
really.
sister
It's just
asked
like nice
about
to
that.
create a project that's just within us. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
have to.
We
It
are
doesn't
our
have
own
to.
listeners. It doesn't
Exactly,
matter.
and we love that. But it's not like my friend told me like a lot of my friends like listen to our podcast, and one of my really closest friends told me like, I love that you guys tell your personal experiences. That's what makes this extra special, is that it's not superficial, you know, like you talk about it, like with authenticity, and that's what's important, you know. And I feel like that gets to like anyone who watches this or listens to this, like, you know, a lot of people feel
best
alone.
friends. Even if it's our best friends, they get to know us even a bit more.
Exactly.
You know, if no one else wants to listen, then it doesn't really matter. It's not that we are doing this because we think we're going to become incredible content creators. No, this is
it's not that. It's not
like
that.
our career paths, nothing like it. It's just a project. It's you like being committed to something, both like professionally, but also when it comes to like being with your friends and doing something fun. So it's like in every sense, it's just a commitment that makes you grow.
That makes you that's special to you. Like you don't want to let it go because it's special.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't matter the views it gets. It doesn't matter what people think. It's like it's my project. It doesn't matter if I only listen and that's
exactly.
Exactly.
And I feel like with you guys, like obviously we were friends like before this, and we were, you know, we were hanging out from time to time, but I felt like this kind of broke the superficial line. You know what I mean? You know, when you like when you're in a friendship. No, I'm not saying you guys are superficial whatsoever.
No.
That's not the case.
No, I know what you're saying.
Now we're insulting.
No.
I mean, like for me, I feel that like no, I know what you're gonna say. But like I think for me, like I was like already really close with both of you, like in like other like in like other topics and like things that we probably can or haven't discussed in the podcast. So like that's why like I mean like at least for me, I think it was just like a continuation. But I understand what you're saying. That was like like that we broke up that like
that line of like superficial type of friendship that like, oh, we hang out, oh, like we compliment, oh yeah, but now we like know each other,
we go
deeply. We go deep. Exactly. Everyone's cringing. They're like, oh my god, these girls. But like no, seriously, like we know each other more on like a spiritual level, and I feel like that's very important to have in friendships, truly.
It's essential. If not, it's not essential, a friendship. Yeah. You'll be an acquaintance, but you will not be a friend. Not a real friend, at least. Like a friend is like a real friend is one that you can like tell things to. Like you can feel comfortable being around and being vulnerable, not someone that you just hang out with. Like I can hang out with a guy that I just met in the street and I only know the name of, or not even
Exactly.
that.
That's what I mean
Like,
by superficial friendships. You're not
exactly.
meaning to saying like you guys, each person is superficial. You're just saying like the friendship, it's still not
you, Tyler.
comfortable, you know?
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
like we could say anything. I felt that like even just making the podcast, like from the first episode and how I felt when we were making the first episode to how I feel now, it was like sometimes this is a mess. Sometimes getting organized is a mess, but it's like it's our mess. So it doesn't matter. I'll just come here and I won't be that worried about exactly what I'm gonna say, exactly where this is gonna go.
It comes so
Because it's like
naturally.
I'm comfortable here. I can just stray and say whatever comes to my mind. I'm not gonna feel judged. And in the first episode, I kind of course I felt comfortable, but I also kind of
There was still
felt
that
like
barrier. I
yeah,
feel.
it was still there. Sometimes I felt like a bit intimidated by what we were doing. A bit of things, some things that I would be like, oh, I wouldn't say this. Oh, I still don't feel like I'm this close. So I would be able to maybe open up as much as I do now. But right now it's like we go into the Zoom and it's not like, okay, the episode is like we catch up with each other. We say like, oh,
we spilled the
turn
tea.
on
I feel like we got closer once we spilled the tea. Remember, we literally spilled the tea for an hour and a half.
It was
before
longer
we
than that,
started
the
the
episode.
We have to record.
We have to record, and it was like 2 a.m. my time, and I was tired, but I wanted to keep going because we just like we were spilling the tea of like things back like back in Spain, like you know what I mean?
We know.
You know, and I feel like we all didn't think we thought the same, but we did, and it's so nice to like
be in sync,
like say it to each other. Like,
yeah, it was like
loud.
You think that too?
You think that too? Me too. Oh my yeah,
exactly.
It's cool.
And that's what I mean. It became like from, oh, we have this project to, okay, we have this project as friends, but it's not just the project, it's everything that comes with it. And how like after it, I'm like in a better mood. I like, I literally like closed the Zoom and I'm like, God, I opened up. This was like therapy. Oh my God. I like opened up and I was with my friends from some time that I'm not gonna see if not, because each one of them is from one country that I am not in. So it's like I kind of get it all out of this. It's like the commitment, the project, the being passionate about what we're talking about, but also the fact that it's not just the project and the topics and whatever we're creating, and that, you know, I can say in the future, oh, you know, I started a podcast. It's not just about that. It's about what I am creating, how good it is being to me at a personal level, and how great it feels to know that what I'm doing has also like made me grow as a person, as a friend, has made me feel much more comfortable with people that I was already comfortable with. But if we hadn't started this, I wouldn't have developed my friendship even more with, because I wouldn't have been here like 10 weeks connecting with you girls, talking about things, opening up about things. I learned things from you girls that I didn't know before. We have spilled tea that we would have not spilled if not. We've had conversations we have never had and we would have never had if it hadn't been because of this. So it's just, who cares if nobody listens? This is like made me grow at a personal level. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what like the actual podcast gets to, like who it gets to or where it gets, because at the end of the day, it just made me grow in such a way that who cares about like the actual numbers of what like the plays. It's gonna be our best friends and our family and ourselves. Well, then good. And if it's no one, then at least I came here. I was with my friends for an hour and I like spilled the tea and it felt nice. So
guys, like, if you want to like deepen your friendships, just make a podcast.
Just make a podcast. Just make a podcast. It changes your life. So yeah, it's been like, yeah, I cannot express it. Like it's because it's truly like I'm lost for words when I think about it, and I'm like, wow, it really in like 10 weeks, I totally changed my relationship with two people that I already have oh my God, that's my mom calling. I really had a great relationship with. I was like, I cannot listen to your voice memo now. And she was like, okay, then I'll call. You know?
Yeah. Mom, I'm busy. I'm working.
I cannot. And she's like, okay, no voice memo, then you listen to me in another way. As I was saying, is that it feels so nice that it's that I now have an even greater relationship. I of course had a good relationship, but it would have never
It's
become what
better
it is now without this. Exactly. Yeah.
Oh,
so.
guys, we're just like, oh, this is so emotional and sentimental. We're having a moment.
What's the title of this gonna be? Like, on our sensitive asses. What is this gonna be?
On our emotionality.
On us crying. On us loving each other.
Oh, that's funny.
Kata, are you alive?
Yeah. Kata?
She's not alive. Katika, what is up?
Katika? This is the first time I called her Katika.
Catalina!
Catalina!
Catalina, what is up? Tell us about it. This is a safe space.
No, I'm okay. I don't know. You just got super emotional. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? So
oh yeah, Kata's just not used to this emotionality, if that's even a word.
Yeah, like no, here's
Kata's just like
here's the thing. I feel like cry like every single day, but like I said before, I think I was already like close with both of you, so I think it just like for me like it was just maintaining the contact.
Wait, sorry, Kata, wait. I'm so sorry to interrupt, but like, I think what Monica said was so funny. Guys, if you don't know what just happened, I was like, oh, Kata's just shocked like this, and then Monica was like, oh, feelings. Kata's not used to feelings.
She this summer got to learn what emotions are. She had not watched Upside Down.
That's gonna be the title of the episode. Fuck everything. On Kata learning emotions. Fuck everything.
On Kata learning emotions.
On how Kata learned emotions over the summer.
Oh my god.
Kata, what were you saying?
Nothing. Fuck everything. No, that I think like for me it was just like maintaining the contact with you girls. I think that's like what helped with the podcast, because I feel like I did go to like cry to Tala a couple of times, and I did talk like really like deep stuff with Marga also another couple of times. So like I think it was just like I was really comfortable from the get-go. Like I was really comfortable with both of you. Yeah. So like it was just like maintaining contact for me. Like of course like it was like we did talk about like other like deep stuff and stuff, but also I don't know, like I was just like
like just remaining in contact, because I know myself. I know I don't really call or like FaceTime or check up, because I don't know, I'm that type of person that self-damages my relationships with people.
No. The one time we FaceTime, we decided that we were gonna do a podcast. Literally.
No, but we FaceTime before when you were still in Segovia and I was here when I came back.
That's why. Earlier. That's the call. When
we was spilling the tea, sis. We were spilling the tea.
It was like 4 hours long, that call. Because I remember I was packing.
That was true. You were packing.
I was packing up, and you said like, I remember because you told me that Marga had to send you a lot of voice messages because like really drunk, because we were like at a party like 2 days before. And
oh my god.
and you were like, Monica said like me like this long hours, like
it was so funny. No, she wasn't drunk. Like, we were just spilling. Me and Monica were spilling tea about some things.
Mom, they're lying. I was not drunk.
Anyway,
I don't drink.
That's so funny.
Anyway, so I just remember you were like she sent me we were just sending like this long podcast like from to and from. I was like, oh my god, yeah, like I get that with Monica. Like I remember when we were both spilling the tea, we were like
spilling the tea about something. Oh, we were spilling the tea about something. We were spilling about someone. Marga, we were spilling tea about someone that me and you don't like. Put one and one together. Put one and one together. Remember when you were sending me
But was
those
it?
long ass voice notes?
Okay, but was this? Are you talking before the podcast or
Before
the
the
tea was
podcast.
spilled?
We're so. That's why I say that probably you were drunk because we were just drunk the whole time.
What we're talking about. This episode is just we're just
Spilling
depicting
tea.
ourselves as evil people. Oh my god.
Literally. No, it's okay. No, it's not. It's not okay. It's
Right now,
not okay.
I'm a drunk
that's
evil
why
person.
I called Tala because, well, you had been away for a month already.
And
I was
Kata
packing
came
up.
again and spilled the tea to me about other things that happened. See, I was just away from all the tea. Like, I hate that.
I'm sorry, but that month that you were gone, it just like it's blurry.
So,
it's a blurry
yeah.
memory.
What?
So many things happened that
Yeah, like I'm so mad. My luck is just even when I came back, the curfew went away. Oh, thank
that
you so
month
much.
I went crazy that month, to be honest.
As you
That's
should,
why I
though.
say
We've
it was
been
like a blurry memory. Like I just know that I submitted 2 essays, totally hangover, and I got good grades. That's the one thing that
I submitted a history non-class learning drunk while I was on the double. How do you call that? The toilet. On the toilet. I was peeing drunk at 12 at night, and I submitted a history non-class learning.
I love that.
We
No,
love
I
that.
remember. I think that was the last.
My
thing I
two
had to
Segovian
submit.
best friends were like, what are you doing? I was like, I've got to submit this. Yeah. I was
remember
like
that
3
last,
cocktail win.
like my friends here, like when I saw them a few weeks ago, like they were like, so like tell me like a crazy night that you had. I was like, pick one. I was like, do you want to pick the one where I went to like 3 parties in one night and I got like super fucked up? Or do you want the other one where I entered a house which I was not invited to, but I entered like, then I went to like, there were like parties in every single floor, so I just jumped around when they kicked me out? Or do you want to like, what the fuck are you talking about, Katarina? But
I hate you guys. What the hell? I was depressed in my room here.
Mama was not there.
She was not there.
Mom, I was actually I was here.
Mom, it was not me, it was my evil twin.
She's the one making this podcast today. I never spill tea about anyone. I'm a good person.
I'm a good person. I don't drink. That was really fun. I had a lot of fun.
First of all, drinking doesn't make you a bad person. Not that I drink.
Me too. Okay.
What is this episode gonna be on exactly?
This episode is
I have no idea.
Chaotic.
On the biggest mess you're ever gonna hear.
I was just wondering if you want to like start doing like I don't know, like our favorite memories from like every episode, or like I don't know, a episode that has to stand out for us. I don't know, talk a little bit about the guests we've had. So like just like throwing the ball, like, so if you want we can start with like, I don't know, like our favorite like saying from the episode, or something that one said that you're like, that changed my
We said a lot though. I don't think I'll remember.
I'm trying to remember all of our episodes.
I do have things. Every single time Tara says, this is a byproduct of misogyny. Generally, I know that she's about to get fucking real, and then the episode's about to take a fucking turn.
Because everything is low-key a byproduct of misogyny. Like, convince me.
Fair. That's fair.
What about you, Maria?
I think to me.
Oh my god, I know one. Okay, Monica, you go. Sorry, I just have to say that out loud.
But we're doing like things that kind of impacted us, right? Like,
or like funny moments.
Funny moments, like something that changed you. You're like, this is like so funny. I don't know, like I don't know.
Okay, because I was gonna say like a thing that changed me, but it was not funny. So I'm gonna say that this one. So when we like talk about specific things, okay, I'll then go for if it's something funny. I mean, definitely Kata's dad changed my entire life. That moment was one of the funniest things I've ever.
Fun fact about that. So last episode when we were with Denise, my dad came by because I was like in the dining table, and he was like, "I'm gonna pop up." I was like, "No." He was like, "Yes, I will." I was like, "No," and he sent him away, but he was about to like go full out again. So yeah, I just want to say that.
That was definitely, yeah, your
No,
dad
do you
was
know?
definitely one of my highlights for sure. And if not, what would it be if not? I mean, I love when I do love not only the byproduct of misogyny, but just in general when we start repeating things a lot and we get drinking games out of it. Like every
Oh
time
my
this person
God,
says
we are a
this,
nation.
yeah,
We are a nation. That's my favorite. We are a nation.
we are
I
a
was just-
nation. We're a
And I love-
byproduct of misogyny, and we have another one.
there's another
No, but,
one.
like, you
I
said it
just
more
checked.
than me, Marga, and like the drinking game would be so like
No.
on.
You were
Yours
we are a nation.
is the byproduct of
In the
misogyny.
first
That's the
episode-
iconic one.
On the first episode, we had another one because I was just checking my notes of the first episode, and dear listener, Mrs. Marga Constance said, "I am a local." Like, guys, I am the local. Like, you cannot take that away from me because I am the local.
That's true. What if I'm proud?
I don't have
What
a
about
drinking game. I'm so proud of myself.
Oh my God.
Marga has 2 drinking games. Marga, you're gonna kill
No.
everyone.
We
Mom,
are a
that's not
nation.
true. Mom, that's not true.
We are a nation.
That was so
funny.
good.
That was amazing.
I study international relations.
Okay, what about you,
I have
Tala?
to talk about nations. Yeah,
Oh,
Tala,
for
which
sure.
is one?
For sure, We Are a Nation is my top one. Okay. And then I don't know, we have a lot of like meaningful things that we said on this podcast. Like we did 10
I know.
episodes and like we said a lot of things, like 1 hour each, 10 hours. So that's a lot of time,
Oh
isn't
my
it?
God, true.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so I feel like each episode was kind of meaningful in its own way. From like episode 1 to episode, we talked about something meaningful. Episode 2, episode 3, 4, 5, 6. Like there was always some rants from me, all 3 of us, you know,
Yeah.
that we talked about that kind of meant a lot to us. But I feel like what my favorite part about this whole thing, Kata, why are you laughing?
I just
My favorite-
remember when you just said like I just rant all the time, and I remember when you said, "Oh guys, I don't think today I'm gonna say a lot of things. I just think I have a lot to say."
Could you stop talking? It was parent JB, and it was Kata and me like, oh,
Sorry guys, I'm truly sorry. I didn't know that would happen. But I guess I'm a music
that
fan.
is definitely one of my favorite things ever. I laughed so hard at that.
Oh, that was so funny. I didn't even realize.
Like I'm like now you said like I always rant, and I was like, yes, bitch, we all knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Oh my
Why are
God.
you surprised?
You
Wow.
ruined the sentimental moment. But I feel
Okay,
like
go.
my favorite, that was really funny. Great job on highlighting that kata. Embarrassing
You're
me, exposing me. Oh, I don't know. Sorry.
Okay.
No, but I think my favorite part was that we all kind of shared our personal experiences. You know,
Yeah.
we have all, you know, highlighted each topic of our episode into our own lives, and we kind of related to it in that way. But also, I also remember my favorite part is when I fell in the chair. Remember? I was literally doing like this, and then I like fell, and it was in a like really sensitive like episode, the mental health one, and I just fell when Marga was just explaining her life story, and I was trying to lift, but then I fell and he started laughing, and it was so funny.
And I was like, okay. It
That
seemed
was
boring.
so
I was
funny.
like, okay, I'll shut up now.
I just find it super funny that whenever like I'm getting super serious, either my internet cuts off or you
Oh.
two like something funny happens, so I just have to keep going and I cannot laugh. But you two are like dying with your mics off. I'm like, why? And that's
I'm
it.
sorry.
Yeah, Kata's internet is also one of our top 10 moments.
Yeah.
Kata just being frozen.
For a moment, I was like, it's not Tala. And I was like, oh no, she's okay. She's in the
Oh my
same.
God.
Okay. My brain cell ain't working. I'm sorry.
Okay, do you have any other more things you would like to say before we end this episode?
I wanna
Go.
Okay, I want to say just, I mean, of course, we've had like lots of funny things that have happened, but I also have like things that have like stuck with me that are like not related to just being that funny, especially because I'm like definitely the least funny out of this podcast. I I always have like rants and stuff, and like Kata never knows what to put so that we have something funny in the description for me because I'm not funny. So so of course I've got like lots of deep memories and like things that have stuck with me that are not just funny, they're not just about Kata's dad or about, also there was Tala's mom once. She didn't show up, but Tala
Didn't
kind
show
of muted herself, and you could see her like screaming like ow. That was like one of her
No,
first
because I
episodes.
looked at that was the first episode. That was the first
Yes,
episode.
first
Like the least you could do
Exactly.
is respect first episode. Like it still wasn't more comfortable, and it was like professional, strictly. And then my mom was like, Yada, what are you doing? And like knocking, and like I was like, Mom, I locked the door. I'm not doing anything sus. Like I'm filming my podcast. Leave. And she's like, oh, sorry. And then left. That's so funny. Out of all the moments, my mom never comes into my room ever. Like out of all the moments.
She was like, this bitch is doing something sus. What is she doing? Why is she like, there's something
What is
weird
she
about her
talking
being
to?
in her computer?
Oh my
It
god.
was so funny. But
Now,
well,
by the way, this episode, my sister came in, and I was like, "Did you see me? Did you see me at the beginning of the episode?" My
I'll
sister
check it
came
out
in.
later.
There's no privacy in this family, as you can tell. No one knocks. Or in like Denise's episode, sorry, Monica, but like I'm
No,
talking
no.
about or in Denise's episode, literally my sister came in looking for my skirt because she had a work dinner and texting me, Tala, look for it. Tala, look for it. I was like, I'm literally filming a podcast. You look for it. And she's like, what? I need to go now. I'm like disrespectful. So yeah, that's my
found it
family.
really funny.
They don't respect the fact that we're content creators.
Yeah.
The hard life.
thought
The
for me
hard
it was
life of the
funny.
podcast.
For me, it was super funny. I felt really bad when we recorded with Donovan because I was still in Paris. I was in my aunt's apartment, and like we usually don't do anything. Like that afternoon, we had nothing to do. My aunt was working. I was just like was me by myself with my aunt. So I was like, okay, I'll do the podcast, and then I don't know, I'll go hang out. I'll walk around. I don't know. The city is big, and I'm young, so whatever. And exactly that day, like we had to fix I was like, okay, so the guy that's gonna fix the curtains is coming, the guy that's gonna fix the shower is coming, the guy that's gonna fix the washing machine is also coming, and all that was just between 2 hours, an hour, and 30 minutes before the podcast started. And it was just super stressful. Like, oh my god, this cannot be happening. Why is everything happening at the same time? And I just remember that while Donovan was giving his big important rant, they were like, we're done. They just screamed. They're like, lady, we're done. And I was like, what? And I just had to sprint and check that everything was working. And I was like, check that everything was working, kick them out of the house, and then sit down and pretend that nothing had happened.
Oh yeah, you did go away for a second. You did go away for a second.
We have had lots of funny moments. I feel like
we really did.
Especially been funny to us, because then most people just either don't watch or listen, or if they once they do, many of them just don't watch the YouTube thing, which is where I think you can see the entire context, and you can get it. Sometimes not even entirely, but you can more or less see what's happening. But I definitely, as I was saying, it's I've had many funny things. I laugh my ass off in every of our episodes. And if I'm not in a good mood after the episode, I will be in a good mood. So it's really been therapeutic to me. But I've also learned a lot from the guests that we've had. And I've learned from things that you girls have said, from your opinions and your perspectives on things, and from the research that we've made. And then you've informed us on I think I've learned so much about Colombia just by having Kata here explaining why they call, was it Hola, the way you call the beer? You say I'm learning things. So
Ay, the palita. It's like
yeah,
it's 7 a.m. but now I want a palita.
yeah. So it's like I feel like I've all like learned a lot and grown a lot in that sense as well. So I don't know. I feel like I of course have lots of funny moments, but what I take as well is a lot of lessons in that sense.
Mhm.
And for example, I always think about how Donovan said that thing that really stuck with us. That was that you don't have to completely understand something to
Just have
respect.
compassion for it.
Yeah,
That
to have
me too.
compassion.
I will always
I
remember
that
that.
yeah,
Truly.
that I like apply that to
To
everything, to
everything.
mental health,
Yeah.
to everything that I don't truly understand, to everything that I'm still like being
Learning.
educated on
Yeah.
and learning about. I always like I'm like, okay, I have to be respectful. And then when I actually know, maybe I will have like a consolidated opinion. But if not, then what I should do first is listen and be compassionate and respectful. And even if I don't understand it yet, even if I never do. And I feel like that has been one of the biggest lessons. And it was like on episode 3 and from one of my best friends from uni. And it was like I learned that from him. And maybe I would have not listened to him saying that if it hadn't been for this, because maybe we wouldn't have had like an hour conversation of us just talking about the LGBTQ community and that topic in general in the way that we did. So it's like this has allowed me to get to know people, get to know things that maybe I would have never like listened to them
Yeah.
and hear from them if it hadn't been because of this. Because as I said in the beginning of this episode, I would have never found the moment. I wouldn't have been like, oh, Donovan, let's sit down and talk for an hour about the LGBTQ community. Maybe I would have never done that. And thanks
And
to
even if
this,
you
I
had, it
got to
probably would
hear.
have not happened. Like maybe if you told him like let's sit down and talk about it, it's something that you say like let's talk about it like but maybe another day, but like it never
Yeah,
really comes to reality.
yeah.
Sorry.
Because it's yeah, but as you say, because it's like, oh, it doesn't feel like the moment now.
Mhm.
And you keep postponing it. And this it was like, okay, we sit down and we just stick to this for an hour, and everything just starts coming out, and it's like more and you feel more and more comfortable every time, every minute that goes by, and you keep talking and sharing your experiences. So I've learned a lot, like personally, and when it comes to hearing you girls, and when it comes to hearing our guests. So I feel like I have not just had fun, but like grown in so many different ways, not just with our relationship, but like with what I've learned too. So I definitely take that away from this podcast.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's
Uh,
like a great way to end the episode, honestly, with Monica's rant right there. And I completely agree. And I also have an idea for we'll talk about this after the episode, but I just like came up with an idea. So
So
we
stay
will talk
tuned.
about that later. Stay tuned. Kata, do you have anything to say?
I was just gonna say, please watch the YouTube videos. If you do, you can see me mouthing "fuck you" to JB all the time in the episode where he comes.
Oh God, what
And
is
you
this
can see
relationship?
Kata's and you can see Kata's dad.
Yeah, and you can see me falling.
Yeah, and you can see her screaming at her mom on episode 1.
But thank you so much, guys, for listening. For those who have been listening to every single episode, I just want to say thank you. It's. I know it. I know just like
my
not a
best
lot of
friends.
people. Not a lot of people listen to podcasts, especially 1 hour podcasts. People think it's boring and they just can't take it or whatever. But if you have been listening, if you have been keeping up, if
It's
you
fine.
have
I
been
don't listen to our podcast.
going up with keeping up with every Kata.
She still isn't subscribed to the newsletter.
If you've been keeping up with every single thing we've done, I just want to say a big thank you. We have a lot of in store for the future, and we're not going to give up. This is a very special project to us, and I hope it's special to you too, and you can relate to it, and you can understand and have compassion for it as well. So I just want to say thank you, and see you episode 11. Bye.
Bye.